This should be maybe my last video today. Maybe I'll do a couple others, but I wanted to describe my journey yesterday to Glasgow, Glasgow, Scotland, and it's the outskirts of Glasgow called Polishaw's Road. And what I had to do was when I got back to the country, I was born here, but when I got back to the country, I have to get a national insurance number, which is the same as a social security number over in America. Basically, it's for tax purposes, and I cannot start work or actually work officially without one. Excuse me. And I contacted them by phone. They set up an interview at this job center in Polishaw's Road. He told me by phone it would take about a half hour since I am already a British citizen. I need to bring my passport, my birth certificate, and an official letter I got at the address I'm at now, which is no problem. I had all of that. But from Airdrie, where I'm at right now, about 10-minute walk to the Airdrie train station, which isn't bad. It was overcast, but it wasn't raining. So that was always a plus in Scotland because we have actually two seasons here. I know we had 4 seasons back in the States where I came from, Pennsylvania, but we have 2 seasons here. It's called rain and snow. That's what we have. Occasionally we'll get some of the yellow stuff, but it's few and far between, okay? But when we got to the train station, we got the train. Took about a half hour on the train to get to Glasgow. Not too bad. Train ride was really neat. I did not bring my camera with me. Well, I actually did, but I didn't film any of it because the train was moving. I didn't want motion sickness or anything like that. The camera to bounce around. But got off the train and went into the underground, what they call the subway station, the underground. Took the underground to Shields Road. Shields Road was our stop, and I had already looked it up on Google and MapQuest, and it said this job center, which was at 159 Polishaw's Road, was about 0.9 miles from the entrance to Shields Road Underground. They were wrong. Very wrong. Now, my plan of attack was get the train to Glasgow, get the subway to Shields Road in Glasgow, and then get a taxi to the job center. Wrong. My appointment was for 1 o'clock. We got out of Shields Road Underground at about 12:20. Plenty of time to catch a taxi, pay the taxi, maybe even have a cigarette before going into my interview. No taxis around anywhere outside the underground. It was my mom, my uncle, and myself. I wanted to go by myself, but my uncle says you don't know Glasgow that well, so he had a day off yesterday, so he went with me, and of course my mom just wanted to come. So that's fine. We started walking, and we continued walking, and we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and we continued walking. That 0.9 miles by car ended up because what Google and MapQuest and even SatNav, what we call GPSs back home, failed to realize is that the where Shields Road is, the underground, well, it's under construction. They're building a brand new motorway. So if that wasn't the case and those roads weren't shut down, it might have been 0.9 miles straight across. There's the job center. 3 miles later, one way, but mind you, 3 miles later, one way, we got to the job center. But during our journey, the part of Glasgow now, Glasgow's a big city. It's the second biggest city in Scotland besides Edinburgh, the capital. So I'm not saying all of Glasgow's like this, but this certain part was, with all apologies to the Dublin airport, if you've seen my previous video on my trip over, I called Dublin airport dirty. Dublin airport was clean compared to this section of Glasgow. The dirt actually flew up in your eyes with the wind. It was that dusty, that dirty. trash all over the street, dirty people walking around with big bushy beards. It's the ethnic part of Glasgow where, and I'm not racist at all. I'm live and let live. Your skin color doesn't matter to me, things to that nature. But certain people are of that opinion that your skin color matters. I'm not one of them, but they turned around and my uncle was telling me this is where they have a lot of racism here. This is where they have a lot of fights and mob wars and things to that nature. And I'm like, great. And I'm walking down to try to get this insurance number. Great. So anyway, I got to the building and walked in. I was about 5 minutes late. 1:05 I got there. And this whole half-hour interview took 5 minutes. So about an hour of traveling, 3 miles of walking, for let's make a copy of your passport, sign this document, and you'll have your insurance number within a week. So, 3 miles back, Shields Road, get the subway to the train station back to Airdrie, and walk up the hill to where I'm living now. Needless to say, it was a long afternoon, and my mom, who has bad knees and a bad back anyway, was pretty much dead on the couch. My uncle was tired, and myself, with my back surgery and not bringing the cane because I thought I was going to get a taxi, I was really sore myself. But anyway, that was my day yesterday. Walking, and more walking in dirt, filth, trash. This is a message to my friend Rob Egan back home. There are worse places than Millville. And Rob and Kelly, you'll know what I'm talking about. This part of Glasgow is worse than Millville. I'll tell you that right now. For you others who've never been to Millville, well, you don't want to go. It's a place that you hardly even want to visit unless you have friends or relatives there. But anyway, this part of Glasgow I'll never go back to unless I'm required to go back to that certain job center. I will be filming Glasgow. I will get up to Glasgow. The town center is supposed to be very beautiful, a lot of shops, very clean. And like I said, it's not a knock on the entire city. It's just that section of the city you don't want to go to. So that was my day yesterday, and that's why I didn't post any videos last night, because I was just beat. On the plus side, though, I did find a shop that sold my Mountain Dew, and my calves are very shapely. Do a lot of walking here, which is good for me anyway, because for the last 12 years or so I've sat behind a computer desk and developed a nice pot belly, which you can't see. But I'll be walking that off, and hopefully I will go ahead and be a little bit healthier over here. So that was my day yesterday, and thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Americanized Scotchman.